Well, hello, creatives, community, and kind folks. Welcome to RPG with DBJ. I am your host, DBJ, and um, I've gotten many successful Kickstarters, and because I've been enthused by what the Kickstarter brings, and I thought I would bring about a game that gives us a very simple but interesting method of creating adventures. And this game is known as Dreamchaser. So, no, of course, you cannot see my ugly mug, but there is the game next to this. We have some note cards here and something known as a dream map. Now, we are going to take a look at this game. Maybe we should shift this around. Um, and tell you what the game is about. And it's strange because, in a weird way, the game itself is more like a dreamscape than the game has actually been was designed as. But we're going to take from it, and then maybe you can use it for your own games and inspirations and things like that. So, long story short, we're going to take a look at Dream Chaser. We're going to take a look at what the dream map even means. Maybe take a look at the character sheet, and yeah, it is. Well, I, maybe Dream Chaser. Maybe it's more like Dream Crusher. I guess would be a better one. America crushing dreams. 10,000 people at a time. Yeah, America. Nightmare fuel. Anyway, so we're going to take a look at this tabletop role playing game. Of course, we've got some images here. I was just showing off the dream map itself, which is it's really cool, although not necessarily needed for the game system itself. But it's cute, There's a place to put your note cards. It basically says milestone 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 with a central card in the middle to write some notes on. But yeah, you could just pass these out. So essentially, what this game is about is it has no setting. So if I let me show you the character sheet instead, we're going to do this. Yeah, we're going to character sheet. There we go. Sorry. So here is the character sheet. Maybe I can get it a little bit bigger. I can get this a little bit bigger. And the character sheet itself is. Let's close this down. Increase the size just a little bit. Here we go. And it looks a little busy, but it's not that complicated. Um, if you take a look at it, the character sheet gives you a step by step in how to make a character. And again, this game does not have a setting, so um, it's the very beginning of the character sheet actually walks you through some of the steps in what we're going to do that this game calls dream mapping. But we can take the dream mapping, we're going to take the mapping away from this game and use it for anything that you would like to. But this character sheet actually tells you, also gives you the rules on how to make the character. So it's pretty easy, really. This is a 2d10 system, and you don't add the dice together. So when you roll the 2d10, one die may give you success, the other can give you failure, and that success failure um, uh, conflict is how you can succeed with complication or fail forward. And the very first three steps in creating this character on this character sheet is step one is your dream. Step two is your role. And then step three are your milestones. What do you want to experience? So pitch a dream, imagine your role, and what do you want to experience? And those are the big three that help you make, not only during character creation, but everyone gets together and makes the setting in which your character plays. So the game does not have a setting, and it actually encourages you, don't even make a setting for the game yet. You get together with your players, someone becomes the essentially the game master. I can't remember what the individual is called, but we're going to call this person a game master. I can't remember what it's called in this particular game. And then you everyone gets together to decide what their dream is, what their role is, the milestones, and then you just start playing by incorporating the various bits and pieces. On the character sheet over here, we have strategies, and your strategies are what you're very good at, and it begins. It has these numbers, and you assign points to them, and that's number 5. Number 6 are your soul skills. Basically, you divide points, 10 points amongst either imagine or reason. So imagine it's like creativity and imagination, and then your other soul skills, reason, it's like your intelligence, your caution, your experiences, and things of that nature. So one's immediate, the other one is like one is moving forward, one's kind of a step back. And of course, we have tags. Tags are little bits and baubles that you create a character with, that your character is known for, whether it is a person, place, or thing that applies to your character. We have health here with mind, body, and spirit, and then some relationship chart here that you write down with some tags related to it, and then you have belongings. And then lastly, you have something known as belief. And as your character gains more belief, you can use those points in belief to modify, mitigate, erase, or have full, what would you call it, successes when you roll the dice. So basically, as your belief system goes up, and belief is similar to character level, kind of. You earn belief as you play the game, and it's kind of like a character level, and then you burn the belief to perform different actions and things, and for greater success, things of that nature. And and your belief combines with your tags to achieve certain successes. Woo! I wasn't expecting to actually do that part of it, but oh, okay, whatever. Yeah. Hello, hey Cameron. Hey, what's going on there? Yeah, here we're going to talk about a Dreamchaser, and we're going to talk about the dream mapping. Actually, let me turn this off. We're going to stop screen sharing for just a moment. So again, it's an immersive story building game by Pete Petrushka, and from what I understand, the physical book isn't available anymore. I went to Drive-Thru RPG. You can download the PDF, but it's not available for print on demand, and I'm actually a little surprised by that, because you could actually go back and redo the game so that it can be print on demand. But whatever. Okay, so for the dream mapping, essentially what you do is it's a 3-step system. Let's see, it's 18. Yep, here we go. Dream mapping. Now, again, like I said, yeah, there is music in the background. Let me know if it's annoying, like annoyingly too loud. I know some people don't prefer that, but I just thought I'd throw something in there. Trying something new with my with with my old man Luddite self. Okay, so dream mapping. Again, like I said, this game is not technically a dreamscape game and was never actually promoted as such. But as the creator was describing this game, and I supported the Kickstarter, I was like, this is a perfect game to play as Dream Warriors. I mean, it's really cool. So, dream mapping. So, what you want to do is you have a dream, you you have a role, you have milestones, and then you complete the dream map. So we all get together, and I'm going to ask you guys for a little bit of homework in the next 5 to 10 minutes. So I'm going to challenge you a little bit. I don't know how this is going to work out, but it's going to be live, so whatever. You know me. I jump in full feet first into these kind of things. Actually, I should turn on another light. There we go. Let's see if I can get another light here. So the first part is the dream. On the dream map, we have some note cards here, and I can write down some things that you guys have to say. Although you guys have the chat, and I can easily throw that up in the chat. So ask the players to each imagine one or more goals for our game. Have them write each in a few words or short sentence on a separate note card. Have them take turns suggesting one of their goals. The players vote on their favorite, tally the cards if it helps. Choose the note card with the most votes. Guide. The guide, you break ties, is known as a guide. As game master is known as a guide. Place the chosen dream in the center of our dream map, and that's where we have this image here. So if we could share this back out again, maybe I should have done that. And homework, hell no. Yeah, Drew's like homework, hell no. Okay, so what we do is we get together here, and we're going to let's just do it this way. Um, and essentially, what we do is we imagine a goal for our game, a dream, and the dream doesn't need to be physical, and it doesn't need to be have a permanence to it. So a goal could be, uh, one person can say, "I want to defeat a dragon," or someone else can say, "Let's have a game of high stakes cooking a meal." Right? It's restaurants against each other or something, and then somebody else is like, "Hey, I would like to reconnect with my family," or something. It can just be anything anybody wants. Now they suggest that all the players and the guide get together and then we all agree on one dream. But I think it would be better to collect all the dreams together, and each dream becomes the goal of that adventure. So, and each dream should have a goal. So it shouldn't just be we should see a dragon. It should be, hey, I'd always liked the classic idea of defeating a dragon, and then someone else can say, you know what, I would like to for us to be hackers, and like white hat hackers, and we hack a giant corporation, and then you could just put the two together like a shadow run. Okay, so you pick a dream and you put that in the center. That's what this where it says it has 4 milestones on it, and that's what the image is next to me. So you put that note card in the middle, and then so you guys are going to have to come up with your own goal, and there are examples of it in this book. For example, let's read some of these. Discover the secret of El Dorado. Fly a giant mech. Uh, Meet a significant other. Swim to Alcatraz. Find dad's pants. Solve the energy crisis. Unite the nations. Sit in a big chair. Crack the code. Earn your freedom. Learn to control your powers. Survive until help arrives. And so all of this is here as examples. Regain the helm. Collapse the financial markets. How about just simply get a job? Again, this game doesn't have a setting, so you can pick something huge like fly a giant mech, or you can do something really simple like, I don't know, find dad's pants, which is his last one. So you can be as simple, as silly, as serious as you like. Now that's the dream. That's the one in the middle. So once we pick our dream, then we pick our role. So ask the players to each imagine a fun and crucial role to play in our story. Have them write each in a few descriptive words. Have them take turns suggesting their roles. Each player decides on their role and shares it out loud. This is your role. Imagine a role like a character class. So, for example, if we pick a dream like let's pick something real classic, like ride a dragon. Okay, so our dream is to ride a dragon. So what are our roles? Well, we have an animated show, a movie that kind of fits into that. So someone's role could be, I want to be a dragon trainer. Someone else can be like, I want to be a dragon hunter or something. Someone else can say, I'm going to play a character that's a bit scared of dragons. So my role will be tag along younger sister. Like, and so you can pick a role. Now, if we want to go real classic with it, like super classic, fantasy Dungeons and Dragons, someone can say, I want to be a sword wielding warrior. And someone else's role may be, I want to I am the moral center of the group. Now, moral center, does that mean you're a cleric? Not necessarily. Does that mean you are a someone who speaks well, like a bard? Not really. Yeah, and someone is going to play Donkey from Shrek. Exactly. Yes, if that's your character concept, I'm going to play Donkey from Shrek. You can literally write that down, and that's your role. So we start with a dream, a goal. The dream can have a very simple goal to it, and so they give examples in this book. Mhm. What is your role? So examples for roles are idealistic visionary, poster boy astronaut, meticulous scientist, tired prisoner, empathetic game store owner, extra dimensional space slug, romantic painter, diligent mail clerk, mute dragon pantomime, pestering turtle, bored whiz kid, immortal watcher of worlds, successful musician, ambitious gym manager, uh, climbing apparel store owner. Like your role could be anything. Oh, you're so bad. Yeah, yeah. I'm not sure exactly about the compatibility, but there sure was a desire for Dragon to ride the donkey. Yeah, crackpot political writer, scorned husband, unwilling, unwanting heroine. That's what it's listed. Inspirational child leader, relentless conquistador, traumatized songwriter, right? So your role can be anything based on what fits within. Hopefully, you want to have a role that helps succeed towards the goal that you pick, the dream that you pick. Yeah, poster boy astronaut riding an ancient rocket called the Dragon because of how unsafe it is. Exactly, and mind you, you can see how as you progress with the dream mapping, like you can rephrase, repurpose, recontextualize the different roles the characters play. So in the middle is the goal. You pick a role, and then the milestones. So our third part is now the players know their roles and the aim of our story. Ask them what do they want to experience in the story. And so let's get back to the character sheet. Oops, let's go ahead and replace this with the character sheet. And on the character sheet, here we go. On the character sheet, sorry, right at the very top, it says number one, our dream, number two, my role, and then number three, my milestones. And milestones are like, what do you want to experience in the story? Ask the players to each imagine something their character needs to experience, acquire, or achieve to fulfill their role. What is the coolest moment you want to have with your character? Have them each write each goal in a few words or a short sentence on a separate note card. The number of milestones depends on the length of the game. See page 9. So milestone is you're getting a bit more specific. Like someone may say, "I want to have a duel with a rival, like in Star Wars or something." Right? My character carries a laser sword. I'm a space wizard and a space monk, and I would like to have a one-on-one duel with a rival. And another character may say, "You know what? I've always wanted to like have one of those battles across the rickety rope bridge. So I'd like to experience that." And so each person writes down 1 to 3 milestones of a thing they would like to experience, acquire, or achieve based on their role. Now, you really want to make sure, again, contextually, that this fits into your role of the character type that you want to play. So if you pick a poster boy astronaut, at least one of your milestones is it should have something to do with like I don't know, like the End King says, riding an antique ancient rocket called the Dragon. You know, um, maybe you could even be more specific and say, "Hey, I want to." Um, have a pivotal moment where we're achieving re-entry, and I save the rocket ship from crashing or something like that, or something of that nature. So what I like about this type of adventure setting is that it completely divorces ourselves from it seems dim. It completely divorces ourselves from the typical like aspects of many role-playing games, and just basically says, look, forget the setting, forget forget the rules of the game. What are we going to do? What's the goal of this game session? And maybe there's a maybe those players where they're trying to play Dungeons and Dragons, but they really want to run a tavern. This is the game that you want to do it in. There are some live plays where they're just like, "Hey, we're going to have a cooking competition," and that's what the players wanted. They wanted to have a dynamic cooking competition. It's like, well, okay, well, that's it. We're going to use the rules to facilitate having a cooking competition. So, getting back to I guess I want to share the character sheet again. Um, so on this character sheet, here we go. After we've described our dream, you have your role, or what it says, my role. So we have our dream, my role, and my milestones. And then after that, step 4 is describe your PC with 3 tags. And the 3 tags are down here. And you notice that, or I hope you can see this, under tags, there's a line down the middle, right between the A and the G, and there's a line down the middle. So your positive tags are listed on one side. During the game, you can acquire negative tags. And the negative tags are things like physically, it can be like wounds, exhaustion, fatigue, broken leg, headache, missing an eye, something like that, right? Confused, blinded, or what have you. Mental tags are things like, like I said, confusion, memory losses. Uh, Emotional tags may be anger, upset, things like that. And those could be negative tags. Now, your positive tags you list under your character. So if you want to be the poster boy astronaut, maybe a tag is you could have a tag of like a winning smile because you're the poster boy astronaut, right? So one of your tags could be winning smile. Maybe a second one is calm in panic situations. There might be a way to even shorten that down. No fear, fearless, right? That could be a tag. Let's see, what's a third tag you could put down for it? Poster boy astronaut, famous, or what would other idolized or something of that nature. Although that kind of goes with the winning smile, but you could have something like that listed down, or just simply a tag could be, astronaut. People know you're an astronaut. You can walk into top secret labs or something like that. People don't question you. So those could all be tags. And mind you, this game does not need to operate like a traditional tabletop role playing game. So if you want to play a game that's nothing but a emotional soap opera of players getting together to try to reunite a family that's broken apart during a major holiday or a family reunion, and there's no magic, there's no giant robots, it's just a bunch of people with their own traumas and their own thing trying to get the family together, you can absolutely play that with the rules of this game. It makes no difference. What would happen though is under number 7, where it says assign 12 points, number 7 here, assign 12 points among health, is that if you're doing a family drama, probably you'll be using your mind and spirit for points for health. Body, probably not so much, unless of course you have like the annoying sibling or uncle or something that likes to roughhouse or something like that. So you may have some body loss in terms of that as they grab you around the neck and give you a noogie. Also under strategies, that's step number 5. Imagine 3 strategies below legend. And so what happens here is, legend is basically if you achieve legendary status, your strategies are like skills, but they don't want to list it as skills because maybe your character does other things. So, non-skill related strategies might be, um, I don't know, like I'm trying to think of something. It could be something very natural, like maybe your character is a quadruped or something. So you might have heightened senses, or you may have spinning a web because your another character is a spider. Maybe someone is flapping wings could be a strategy. Flying with bird-like wings or something like that. So strategies aren't necessarily skills, but it should be something that you can use, that you have a capability of using. Maybe in your game, everyone is playing those dragons, and you put down as your strategy breathing, dragon breath could be a strategy. How good are you at doing it and doing the thing? And then that's how you roll 2d10 and can gain some successes and failures and things of that nature. So see what you guys have to say. Yes, N King, those negative traits are exactly that. Actually, it's the opposite, because not the opposite. Probably vicariously, I picked up from it. So, yeah. I smite thee with righteous anger. I know that it is not a negative emotional tag. Now, listen. Again, this game. Exactly. I love that. Thanks there, the N King. And I can talk about some progress with that. But one of the aspects of the man that is, yeah, that just, you really can't see it. One of the aspects of this game here with these tags is what represents a positive and negative tag. So in a family drama, maybe jealousy, anger, um, um, hell, we can even go even darker, addiction, obsession. Those may not be negative tags. Those could be positive tags. If we, let's say, shifting from a family drama into a even more serious, maybe we're playing through a game where all of us are in a asylum, and we have been housed in an asylum, and what the society thinks is negative is the very thing that's going to save us from getting out of the asylum or surviving in the asylum, because we are all experiencing the same psychological horrors. And so our negative traits could be positive ones. Or heck, maybe you're playing a game with a bunch of people who have a neural divergence in your gaming group, and you write down as a positive tag the neural divergencies down here. So I could see something like that. I hadn't thought about that, but that's true. There's even a little spot down here, number 9, known as belongings. And under belongings, these are simple items that you can carry with you that are symbolically important to progression in the story. So you could have a stuffed animal, a photograph of a loved one, a lighter, a ink pen, a heavy metal T-shirt, I don't know, eyeglasses, a number of things, right? A necklace with my significant other's name on it, or one of those necklaces with the heart broken in half, and I have one half of them. Like, those are the little belongings, and those belongings are like, it's weird to say this, but those are like immortal belongings. They are like invulnerable things that you always have. Like, if you're playing a young child or even an adult that has a stuffed animal that's very important, it's a thing that uh, can become important in the story. Pocket watch is maybe another thing. A pink slip from being released from your job, a broken sword, and that from an ancient, from a relative or something like that. ancestor. And so these belongings belong down here, and you can use them to influence aspects of the game and the player. Yeah, here it is. Step number 9: imagine up to 3 iconic items, and those iconic items can either relate to particular situations. For example, in the movie Deadpool 2, one of our characters, Cable, has attached to his hip a stuffed animal. And you don't understand until later on in the movie why this badass dude with a big gun and cyber arm and and whatnot has a a stuffed animal that he carries around on his hip. And maybe there's an NPC, maybe a small child or something, and the player character says, "I'm going to grab my stuffed animal and give it to the distraught young child." And then maybe that young child is like a Newt from Aliens, and then leads the characters to a bit of information or something like that. Like, so that's where belongings come in. They are the MacGuffin, the they are the monkey wrench. They are the non-mechanical feature that you can insert or pull on in Dreamchaser to affect the gameplay. So so was it heavy metal? Hell yeah! Hells yeah! Dun, dun. All right, so getting back to Death Angel Shadow says, I have had players that were on the spectrum, and they had a very hard time accepting that the creatures in their encounters did not seem to match that of the monster manual. Yeah, there's people like that. I've played with people who were they were upset that the NPCs didn't describe the monsters in the monster manual exactly as they were in the monster manual. Yeah, I've had plenty of oops, wait a minute. We should be switching here. There we go. Yeah, I've had players that were like that's not in the monster manual. Why are the NPCs calling them dragons? That's a that's definitely a cockatrice or a basilisk or something like that. I'm like, yeah, but the villagers, they don't know that. All they saw were scales. They think everything with scales is a dragon. Crazy, 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 but it happens. So here we have let's show the Dreamchaser. Let's share this instead. So this is the Dreamchaser PDF, and in this game, again, it's a game of destiny. Will it let me page down? It's not letting me page. Come on. I have to click. Damn it. So anyway, this game, there's some. You could tell that the game is made with a number of pieces of artwork and such. But anyway, photographs and such. But in this game, there we go. You have to dream before your dreams can come true. So one of the things that I really love about this game is, again, you can take your character from one dream realm to another. And the purpose of the game is, can you play a role-playing game that has no specific setting? As a matter of fact, there's no setting at all, and we come to the table together to describe what that setting has. So in this game of poster boy astronauts and dragons, is this a high-tech society? I don't know. And one of the player goes, well, I think there should be computers. And now guess what? Computers exist in this world. And so the players themselves can drop props and background information into the world and start to fill out this world that may or may not have magic or science or be extraordinary. It could just be running a small coffee shop on the outskirts of town or something like that. Play the story you want to play, be the characters we want to be. The dice are in your hands. So yeah. Yep. Built-in session guide, little to no prep. I disagree with the little to no prep, because just like I'm describing to you this game, you kind of have to have an idea of what you'd like to do in the game. So There are vision roles that you can do. There are plenty of examples in the book. Yeah, yeah. Create challenges, NPCs, and allies spontaneously. And again, this game is a D10 system. So because it says anyone or anything that can challenge a character can fit into just 3 ratings and just 3 tags. A simple 1 to 10 scale allows you to assign ratings quickly and intuitively. Have a new person at the table or a guest in town, whip them an ally character in minutes. Focus on what's important, delivering a deeply engaging experience and moving the story forward. Very creating challenges, NPCs, allies, adversaries is extremely close to how Cypher System does it in Numenera. Basically, you assign a simple scale of 1 to 10 for whatever the challenge is that's against the player characters. And then if you want to fill it out, you give it three ratings for its body, mind, and spirit. Some challenges can't be solved through one or two of the other 3, right? Through body, mind, and or spirit, and then you can give it some tags. So, for example, a rickety rope bridge could be a challenge. I'm going to give it a challenge 5, and let's see, you can solve it with mind and body, but you can't solve it with spirit. Spirit is kind of like charisma. It could be spiritual, but getting across a rickety rope bridge, you can't talk to it. So it has a mind, it has a body, and mind meaning like you can intellectually figure a way across it. Body meaning you athletically get your way across the rope bridge, and then it has a you can give it a scale, and you could give it a scale of 5. And so, how does the character get across? You describe how your character tries to get across, but you don't get across until you reduce the challenge rating of 5 down to zero. Yep. And you can welcome new players to role-playing games. It works on a scale of 1 to 10. Work less and play more. Welcome to Dreamchaser. So I just want to introduce you guys to this game and how this game is done. This Angel, you're so funny. That's hilarious. Yeah, trying to figure out how to a cassette tape. Yeah, aren't there a bunch of YouTube channels where they ask young people how to operate a like objects from like the 1960s to the 1980s or something? You could give a rickety rope bridge a soul or a will setting, since you need courage to even try to cross it. Exactly. So the End King, there you go. That you very easily busted my own seat of the pants imaginative element, and that's exactly how this game works. That's exactly how we use it. So let's stop sharing this, and we're going to move this aside, and we're going to bring out some note cards. I don't know how this is going to work, but these are, I don't think these are these 3x5s? I don't even know how large these are. These are a little bit larger than I wanted them to be, but whatever. Okay, so the game does have soul or will stats. It's spirit. It's body, mind, and spirit, and that's exactly what it is. Yep. So for this game, one of the very simple things that we can do is, and not just this game, but let's remove ourselves from. Let me put this up in the corner. So one of the things we can do for Dreamchaser is that we could divorce ourselves from the game and borrow from Dreamchaser what we'd like to do. And what I mean by that is we should really be, what I like about this game is we should really be playing the game everybody wants to play. So the first step is ask our players, like, what do they want to do? What's the goal that you want to achieve? So when players sit down and want to play Dungeons and Dragons and they go, hey, I want to run a tavern, maybe you shouldn't really be playing that game. Maybe you should be playing something else. But also, if your players just stayed up front, this is the thing we'd like to do, then that's a great starting point, because then you don't have you don't have the issue of having to fight against the players or fight against the system to achieve the very goal that you're trying to achieve, which is having fun. Out of curiosity, have you reviewed Castle Crusades? Nope. I haven't reviewed Shadow Dark, but I do have Shadow Dark. I do not have Castles and Crusades. What about some of the older other systems that diverge from D&D either recently or years ago? I have, let's see, what do I have in my back room? I have, let's see, AD&D adventure modules. I have Level Up Advanced 5th Edition. I have some other Shadow Dark. And I'm actually looking around you. I have Knave. looking around I'm actually looking around my room here. Oh man. Maybe one day I might do that. It would get a lot more clicks if that's the case. But yeah. So so in short, uh, here for uh, those of you that are out there, basically you set yourself a goal. So you have your goals, and this is for your players to get yourself a goal. So get your players to what do you want to do? And then after that, you start picking roles. Right? And so once you start picking roles, it's like who are you? And in this manner, when the players pick a role, it's like forget character classes, forget the game, forget like what kind of character do you want to play? Do you want to play the supportive sibling? Do you want to play the obnoxious, scientist? Like ignore that. And then of course at the very end are milestones. And basically milestones um, are like spotlights. So spotlights are basically are milestones, and those are little mini, not successes, but things players want to do. And what I would suggest in terms of using the milestone method is that when you're using the milestone character, there we go. Let's share this game. There we go. So when using a milestone method, what essentially is happening in the game is your players decide like, what cool moment do I want? What do you want to achieve? So let's see if I can get to page. Let's see if it runs. I don't think it runs in the same order. Nope, it doesn't run the same order. Have I gotten too far ahead? Because in the book it goes to 18, but I'm picking. Yep, it's a little bit forward. Okay, cool. So dream mapping your dreams. Like I said, this game is. I think it makes a perfect game for dreamscaping, like the game of Dreamscape. I don't know if you guys have ever played or ever seen the movie Dreamscape or Inception or something like that. But I think this game really works in it. I see you, Death Angel. Yep, I do agree that it was fourth edition. I don't have the game. It was introduced to me, and I was just like, why wouldn't I just play a video game? But that's just me. Um, so again, simple overview. Dream mapping at a glance. Again, this is a thing I think we could steal from. Now, mind you, like I said, this game is specifically without a setting. Now, if you have a game that has specific rules for a specific setting, you may have some issues. So this is going to be very narrow if you're playing your specific role-playing game, but I think this still works. So um, again, ask the players to imagine one or more goals for the game and write it down and then gather it together. And I'm going to give you my example of how I would use this at the very end. So gather it together, tally the cards up, and then everyone chooses one of those goals. Personally, I would change that. And if you want to make an extended game, though, you can take those goals and then just stack those goals one right after another, and that becomes your campaign. So a goal, even if you're playing classic fantasy, a goal could be returning the sword from my ancestors back to the crypt of my ancestors, returning it back there or whatever. Now, that may sound like it doesn't lead itself to many adventures, but in this game specifically, Dreamchaser, yeah, that's a real game. That's not a like, oh, it's the boring shopping spree, or it's the, oh, everybody just wants to sit at the table and talk and stuff. That's, in this game, you can actually roll dice and have success and failure when it comes to those kind of things. Again, roles. Ask the players to each imagine a fun and crucial role to play in your story. And a role is kind of like niche protection as well. So, for example, if you have a player who loves to crack jokes at the table, maybe they want to play a character that has a role that is humorous and uplifting and things of that nature, and their role becomes in essence, their character class. So instead of forcing players to have to fit into a specific straitjacket, you can play anything. Now, mind you, depending on your role-playing game, you might have very specific roles, character classes, archetypes that they fit in. But this, at least the player can start to write things down, and you go, oh, since we're not playing, Space Rangers or something, maybe what we're doing on this game is we've been left behind enemy lines, and all we're trying to do is remain hidden from the enemy and, walk 1,000 kilometers on foot to get the base or something. And it could be like Band of Blades, based on the Forged in the Dark game. It could be like Band of Blades. Like, no, we're not really intent on getting in a lot of battles. All we're doing is trying to overcome our trauma, remembering our past battle from our last session, and we're just trying to crawl our way home. And maybe maybe that player wants to play that jovial person to lift everyone's spirits up and whatnot. And lastly is milestones. So milestones, to me, is the very important thing. Imagine something their character needs to experience, acquire, or achieve to fulfill their role. And it could be anything. It could be my cowardly character stands up to a bully. It could be acquiring that magic sword. It could be standing one-on-one against the evil undead person that slew my ancestor and I get to challenge them. Or it could be just something as simple as acquiring the respect of a family member or something like that. Yeah. Secondly, what is the coolest moment you want to have with your character? Challenging a rival, jumping across a giant crevice, developing a new type of technology, being respected in a field in which they haven't gotten respect. And in many ways, I think you guys can kind of tell that this role-playing game can get quite a bit emotional if you allow yourself to go get that deep into it. So completing the map, it says gather all the milestones together, have the players work together to create a sequence of milestones from start to finish on a dream map, and then write down the roadmap that's been created on a guide sheet. This is your dream map. Now, what I would suggest is, as the players write these things down, have those milestones, have those roles, have the dream not apply to a specific character. So if one person comes up with, standing up to a rival, the other players at the table may be enthused by that thing. So this sounds like it's not a very random, it almost sounds like a railroaded adventure, but you could actually have people write things down without showing it to other people, shuffle it together, and now You have your own, dare I say, tarot cards. You have your fortune deck of cards, and you just use those as a game master to run your game, right? Somebody says something about the rickety rope bridge. Somebody else talks about wanting to be a poster boy astronaut, and you get it all together with no one speaking with anybody else, and then all of a sudden you're like, "Oh, guys, I got a great setting," and they're like, "Well, what is it?" And then that setting becomes what everybody wrote down. So I think you could have some fun with this type of creative. Ooh, sorry about that. This type of creative methodology in terms of character creation and adventure creation and things like that. So let's see. Before we get out of here, let's see. Here is a what is your dream? Okay, so let's get ahead to some of the examples here. Here's the dream map, and our dream is the goal of the story. Each player will suggest one, but we'll suggest our dream together. Our dream is a mutual goal. Your role is a description of who you'd like your character to be in your story. Describe a person in 2 to 3 words or a phrase. And so here's some examples. This is kind of fun too. This is actually a cool piece of artwork here that I like, because this is a piece of artwork of players sitting down trying to come up with their own dream chase. And look at it. There's like they're like, there's a knight and there's a mech and there's maybe a detective or a modern day person with a sword and maybe a gemstone in her hand, and someone writing down things on their character sheet and crossing things out and stuff. And I really like that. As a matter of fact, there's no reason why all 3 of these individuals can't be all in the same scene, or these could all be individual stories that we all want to tell at different times. And I think it would be kind of cool to have character sheets where the character sheets are separate from the setting. So each goal could be different, but each role could be the same, or things like that. So these are examples of goals, or what we call dreams in this game, that are possible. Some of these are very fun. Find the meaning of life. Oof, whoa, what does that mean? Or win office, like political office. Birth synthetic life. Put Lex behind bars. All right, Superman. Man. Discover alien life. Hell, get published, right? Free an innocent man. So there's those are a bunch of goals, and thinking outside the box. Freedom! In phase we trust. Freedom! These are examples of roles that a character can play. I like this. Injured Olympic athlete. Like, what does that mean? And if that's your role, like, did your injury come about by something that helps you survive or succeed in a manner in which you hadn't thought of? So this game does embrace your weakness as strength, that I really appreciate. That I really, really, really appreciate. Let's see. Coming into this late is as my apologies. Would you prefer milestones versus XP? I've always been hesitant to use milestones. I've always been a milestone person. I feel like, to me, success and failure doesn't matter. It's the experience. And so I like giving people mechanical points for having the experience of doing a thing, even if they failed. And King says, milestones I like because it doesn't lead to the party killing pigs for 5 months in order to level up. Yeah, that's me. They can run or bypass encounters or do whatever. Exactly. As a matter of fact, there's never been, I don't know why this is spread around the community. Dungeons and Dragons has never been about killing monsters. Gaining experience points has never been a standard. We just assumed it as standard because there's always been experience points listed next to each monster. So people say, well, it means I must kill the thing. No, 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 no. If you bypass or befriend monsters, then you've actually succeeded. It's weird. It's just a weird thing, but that's not a Wizards of the Coast thing. Milestones have been around long before that. It's just that they've pushed it, but it's been around long before that. It's as an old groggy, yeah. I don't like the super advancement though. I don't like that. Inking says birth synthetic life is a wild goal. Yeah, it doesn't say create synthetic life. It says birth synthetic life. So what does that even mean? Yep, yep. And I love your comment here, Death Angel. Yeah, thinking outside the box. Oh hell yeah! If there's something that makes me think, like, oh man, that's a great idea. I'm super into it. I am super into it. Now, here again, with the game, let's see. They give plenty of examples for. So we're going to go to character creation and show you some really cool things about character creation. Like for example, these are some milestones, and these milestones. Don't think of these milestones like I need to hit it to gain a level. The In this game specifically, Dreamchaser, these milestones are basically like very simply like this would be kind of cool. I would like my character or other characters to experience this in this game. That's all it is, right? I'd like to see this happen in the game. So, um, and mind you, is this a very strange way to achieve, um, what's a good way to say this? To railroad the Are we purposefully railroading ourselves as players and as a guide or game master? Yes. It comes across as a little bit, are we self railroading? And the answer is yes. Why? Because maybe we just want to do the fun thing and leave all the extraneous stuff to the side. So, like here we have, look at this, have investors knocking down my door. What kind of a weird, cool, self-fulfilling listen, if there's somebody at your game that's like having investors knocking down my door, I think they're kind of living out their dreams in the role-playing game. But isn't that kind of cool though? Right? But here's another one that we've kind of been building a little bit towards. Build a rocket ship called the Wild Dragon, something like that. Perform in front of a talent scout. If you notice, a lot of this stuff really isn't Dungeons and Dragons related. Sophie, I know you're the Sophs. Really? We don't have an ASMR channel. Anyway, you guys get the point. Wield kryptonite. All right, Lex Luthor. But these are some goals, and mind you, you're supposed to pick like 1 to 3 of these for your character. So, you know, hitting something like blackmail the police into cooperation, and then also recite the tale of the sword from the stone could all be part of your milestones based on how weird and crazy your setting could be. If you really want to make it an actual dreamscape, you don't need to go that wild, but it could be something as simple as let go of the past. And if you're someone who likes to play a role-playing game that has a lot of introspection as well, like, because I enjoy that. I love characters who, like, beat the bad guy but also are a little bit torn about the choices they make in their life. This could be very simple, letting go of the past, or send a message in time, or hire a workforce, or attend a summit, or surround myself with friends. I mean, those are very cool, simple milestones. And while it is funny to have like why would I want to specifically play a game where my only goal is to surround myself with friends? Can it get a little personal and get a little bit, but not a little? Can it get very emotional? Yes, this game can get that way. if you're willing to go there. Now, you don't have to. Again, you don't have to, but I feel like stealing from this game, excuse me, borrowing an homage to this game would be. I'm going into character creation because I want to go to tags and some of the example tags that are listed here. Um, Having simple milestones like that is kind of cool because then at least everyone knows what you're. First of all, it lets all the players know, oh, I know why your character's acting dramatic because you're trying to absolve yourself of your guilt. And then as a game master or a guide, we can go, you know what? I'm gonna give you points for that because you're actually trying to achieve something that's not about defeating monsters. It's not about rolling dice. It's about this thing. It could be something as simple as get a cup of coffee, but maybe we want to have something a little bit more involved. Lastly, here are some example tags. I don't necessarily like the word tags in this Dreamscape style Dreamchaser game, but you got to go with it because tags has been used for like Fate. It's very much like Fate. So these are tags for the player character that you play. Mind you, your character doesn't need to be even human, but mostly you're going to play a humanoid in some kind of fantastical world, meaning like a world where we all agreed that this is how the world operates. And these are some of the various tags. And not all the tags are good, but they are. I mean, like cowardly is a tag, and you can use your tag to achieve success. If your character is cowardly, maybe you're the first to notice the bad guy doing a thing, and you're the first to get the hell up out of there. Like, listen, I wear a T-shirt that says GTFO, get the out of here, right? And you're the first. Hey, my cowardliness makes me act first and run faster. But having a tag like leathery, what the hell does that mean? You know, or gullible, or detail oriented. Maybe you're a ladies' man. You know, large and in charge. What the hell does that even mean? And a lot of these are very literary bound, right? Like large and in charge. You know, this is a horrible one. I on here, the Indian Giver. That's horrible to put on there. But when was this game made? 20. I have to see. My 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 producer is in front of me. Tyrannical, ambitious, tainted, battle ready, persistent, angelic, sappy, luck of the draw, depressed, impractical, manic. These are all little tags that you can have on your character, and your tags add to your ability to achieve a particular goal. So, heck, you could be hungry, or you could be winged, like I was saying before, like having wings or something. Dexterous, and some of these tags are a bit ambiguous, as you know. Some of these are just like, wait, what? I don't get it. Those are tags, and then I'm going to try to find some strategies, and then we'll get some different strategies. And these are your skills, and then I'll go to what you guys have to say. Then we'll get out of here. So strategies are like skills, but some of these aren't necessarily skills. So, like a strategy could be my accent. I don't know what that means, but apparently you're very good at your accent. Whereas there's other things like boxing and kendo and cosplay, TV shows, puzzles, being calm. Like, what's one of your things? I'm calm and I'm very good at it. Or arguing, you know, sumo wrestling. How about robotic arm? You know, and robotic arm, cybernetic arm. Hey, I want to try to rip the door off the hinges. Okay, well, what is your strategy level at it? Oh, it's an 8. It's legendary. Great. Okay, you are the Winter Soldier or something like that, right? You rip the door off the hinges. You've got soldier, painting, appraising, taking damage, and you can make these up. You're encouraged to make a lot of these up. What does nerding out even mean? I don't know, but we love ourselves. Parkour. Man. There's a skill. I'm rich. Not wealthy. I'm rich. You can even put filthy in the middle of that if you want to. Swashbuckling. Opening portals. I'm very good at it. Super speed. So you want to play a superhero styled game. Magic sword. Hypnotism. Megalomaniac. Wolf pack. That could be like a Dances with Wolves kind of thing. Moon-based laser. I shoot the bad guy with what? My moon-based laser. So anyway, let's see. Let's share. Let's share this tag instead. So anyway, guys, thank you very much for letting me share this out with you. I really appreciate you guys tolerating me with these kind of things. Again, this game is known as Dreamchaser. Come on, Soph. Soph's really. This game is known as Dreamchaser, and I really like the adventure design in this. So you guys have to say, he says, you let me know when you're going to run a game on the weekends. I'll join in. All right, we'll try to figure something that I'm usually pretty busy, but yeah, I'll play anything though. I will run and play anything. Yeah. Well, yes, if you think about it, indeed, give her comment. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Rather the other way around. Yeah, exactly. There does. Yeah, I think it's the other way around about like, yeah. Yeah, I don't think of it as the native people trying to give something and take it back, right? Rather the other way around. There's some people who think it's the other way. It's negative connotation on them. I appreciate you because you have a different perspective than my own, and that's what makes it great. I appreciate you guys for having a different perspective than myself. Let's see if we can get her on camera here. I appreciate you guys having a different perspective than my own because let's see if she can get some. This is Sophia Loren, and she thinks she's all that. Yeah, you do think you're all that, kitty. Yeah. All right, kitty. Whatever. Anyway, lastly, before we get out of here, in summary, pick a goal, and like I said, this isn't as open-ended with many other role-playing games. This specific game is designed to be a specific way, right? So this role-playing game is designed as there we go. This specific role-playing game is designed to be settingless, and basically we all get together and hopefully within 5 to 10 minutes we come up with a setting, a game, characters, sheets, the whole 9 yards, right? Maybe not that fast, but it is a game like that. Your specific role-playing game, you'll have different methods. But one of the great things about this that I love about this, the way of designing the game is you get a goal, so you find out what everybody wants to do, like collectively, what do we all want to do? Secondly, hey, what are our roles? Hey, I want to be the helper. I want to be the fighter. I want to be the warrior. I want to be the support person. I want to be the person who causes the family drama. I want to be the jokester. I want to be the intelligent one. We all pick a role, similar but not quite like a character class. And then lastly, we pick milestones. Hey, what fun thing do we want to experience? And if someone says, you know what, we've done a lot of dungeon delving. How about we have like an aquatic pit we have to swim through and swim from one end to the other with like little air pockets in it. Like, that's a thing to see. Hey, let's have a big battle on the side of a cliff face with a big thunderstorm. Hey, I just like to be surrounded by friends and family, and then each person writes those down. And then this isn't in the game, but my suggestion would be get together, go get on your Discord, get on your favorite social media, get all those together, shuffle it, and then use the game master just put those things down. Now, one of those players is going to go, I remember writing that down, but your other players aren't going to know what the other players wrote down or even remember it or even be as invested in such a thing, right? They could just be, man, I just want to do this thing. This game was an Electrum bestseller. I'm here uh, at a on Drive-Thru RPG. I do own the game, so and it's the watermark PDF is listed for 14.99. I think it's a little expensive, but it is a great game. Is nominated in the 2018 Indie Groundbreaker Awards for Best Art. Um, if you could live out any story, any moment, what would you experience? And there's a number, and it has it listed down here, just as we were talking about, like lead a rebellion, ride a dragon, win an Academy Award, free an innocent man, race to the stars, restore your memory, get the boy, girl, whatever, or other, um, become the perfect weapon, solve a madman's riddle. And mind you, not only is this game cool about the whole emotional, you know, uh, um, kind of thing, but also this game, this could be a power fantasy. You can't break this game as your power fantasy. Yeah, kitty. All right, we gotta go. I see you. Go ahead, step off. So, yeah, great game, great system. Um, uh, woo, ooh, ooh, ooh. Um, 4.9 out of 5 for 14 rating. That's not bad. I'm sure a lot of people are fans of this game. And Dreamchaser did come out with. Let me see if Imagining Games has some other stuff here. Um, and they do have other, I guess you could call them settings for Dreamchaser. Here they go. Dreamchaser. Here we go. Dreamchaser Cyberpunk. Dreamchaser Hong Kong Action. Dreamchaser Rom-Com. Um, Otherworldly. Chew, the role-playing game. There's other stuff. So, yeah, is there anything else here? Rom-com. This is Reality. Warriors of Power, a Dreamchaser. Pay what you want. So, yeah, there's a number of these. I guess you could call them settings, and many of these settings come with like pre-made characters, so you can just start off real quick and gives you. Remember, I read through the list of different tags and goals and things like that. It'll narrow it down. So if you want to play cyberpunked or a rom-com, you can actually do that. This is a 2D12 system. So, guys, thank you very much for being part of the show. Really appreciate it, and thank you very much for allowing me to just be inspired by things and letting me share that inspiration with you guys. So, again, thank you so much for just letting me letting me be me, I guess is the better part of the thing. So Dreamchaser, love it. You guys have a great one. Thank you very much for being part of the show. I really appreciate it. And if you've been here this long, you've been on YouTube long enough to know. Really helps the algorithm if you like, share, subscribe, share it out, whatever. But actually, even more importantly, if you have ideas or questions or something, just like Death's Angel Shadow was talking about other D&D systems, just let me know, and we'll talk about those things. But again, this channel is really for inspiration. So if there's something that inspires you and challenges you and your thoughts or whatever, just give a shout out, and I'd love to see it. So guys, have a great one, and have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace and tranquility. Bye.